Yo, take a look at this bike. This is the Mokwheel Onyx Step Through. It's a brand new model from Mokwheel. Features a mid-drive motor, not a hub motor, but yes, a 1300 watt truck run mid-drive motor. That motor is gonna get you 210 Newton meters of torque. So this bike's gonna be a climber. Tucked away in the frame, we got a 48 volt, 19.6 amp hour UL certified battery. And that battery is gonna get you up to 80 miles of range on the Onyx Step Through. The max load on this bike is about 350 pounds. And the total weight of the bike is only about 88 pounds, so pretty lightweight for a big e-bike. In addition to all that, the Onyx Step Through is a full suspension e-bike. You see the front fork suspension. We got this rear suspension that is adjustable. And check out that seat post, like a hydraulic seat post. Pretty sweet. And from the top down, you see we got our control panel here. We got some really nice grips with a little gel pad. Got your thumb throttle on the left side. Check out this bell. It's just a little minimal bracket thing. That's pretty cool. Of course, you got your hydraulic disc brakes with some pretty big discs there. Got some good stopping power. And then this screen is a new design. It actually is one unit here. It holds the bars. You got your screen in there. I know it's a little sunny right now. It's hard to see. But you got your Mokwheel logo, your battery, level of pedal assist, your speed, and some other info there at the bottom. And on this side, you have a 10-speed Shimano shifter. Yes, 10-speed. It's the Shimano Q's. And they even put a weight on to balance the tires on this bike. They really thought this one through. They really did. It's a very good looking bike. It comes in a few colors. This is the mint green. It comes in a panda, which is, as you guessed, black and white. And then a forest camo, like a realistic camouflage print. Now, I gotta say, before I even put this thing to the test, this is definitely the most advanced bike I think I've ever received on this channel in terms of technology and features. I've never had a mid-drive motor before, so I'm very curious to see how that does on the hills and whatnot. And I've also never had a 10-speed bike, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, this thing, they really thought it through. Like the way that the wheel goes on, it's a solid piece attached with an Allen bolt. Very easy to assemble. Probably, honestly, I would say this was the easiest bike to assemble I've ever got. Everything was lined up. I didn't have to adjust the brakes, didn't have to do anything. Just threw it together in about 20-30 minutes and it was ready to go. Anyway, that's enough yapping for now. Let's see what this bike actually can do. Let's hop on it and take it for a ride. We can step through the bike. Oh yeah. Right off the curb. Easy with the suspension. All right, first order of business is going to be the hill test. The hill that has been affectionately dubbed the Bike Buster. You can see it's steep. She's struggling to get up. It's a steep one. So let's go ahead and do, we're just going to do pedal assist 5 and let's go for it. Testing out that mid-drive motor. Downshift a little bit. So the motor does kick off when you shift, I just noticed. Oh, I gotta tighten my bars. But hey, as far as climbing hills, that's doing exceptionally well. Straight up with no effort. Yep. Yeah, I need to tighten up my bars here because as you can see, this actually is adjustable. You can adjust the angle. I just didn't crank it down hard enough. I was too excited to come ride. Anyway, let's go back down to the bottom of the hill. Made it up, no problem pedaling. Let's see if we can do it on throttle only. How about a brake test? Oh yeah, fresh out the box brakes stop pretty good. Not bad. All right, so we pedaled up it, no problem. Let's see if we can do a throttle only up it. Let's go. Maybe. That's the first half. Might have to do some switchback. Yeah, we'll do a little switcheroo. I think it's actually doing really well. Yeah. Oh yeah. Throttle only hill climb? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So far the Onyx is handling business. I'm impressed. Anyway, let's get back to the house. I'm gonna tighten this up and then we'll go do a speed test and a distance test. Let's go. All right, so here we are at our speed test strip. Here's the question I have. Does the throttle limit you to your level of pedal assist? Let's find out. Let's drop it down to pedal assist 1, do a little pedaling. All right, so pedaling on pedal assist 1 looks like you're gonna get about 7.5, 8 miles an hour. Let's try the throttle. Ooh, all right, good. The throttle does not limit you. I like that. I like that a lot. So throttle speed, top speed is looking like 20 miles an hour. Class 2, you know. Good to know, good to know. So yeah, I'm sure it's gonna limit your pedaling speed at the levels of pedal assist. But I'm gonna throw it in pedal assist 5 and see how long it takes to get up to its top speed. Let's go. So I'm gonna shift up. We're at 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, 23. Oh yeah. 25, 26, 27. All right, I'm out of street. And I made it up to 7th gear out of 10. So I think if I was going, if I had longer space, we can get it that 1 more mile an hour to 28. But I like what I see here. I'm impressed. All right, so let's get the Onyx back to the house. I'm gonna throw it on the charger, top off the battery, and then we'll go and do our little distance test. All right, so we've got the Onyx fully charged up. Battery has been topped off. So we are good to go. So we got our trip distance set to 0. Our battery is all the way up. And we're gonna hop on this thing and see how far we can go. We'll do a few different terrains. I'll go take it on a little off-road, go take it to the beach, put some miles on it. Anyway, let's hop on this thing and get going. All right, so let's go ahead towards the beach, see what we can do. I love the sound of this bike when it coasts. Reminds me of a rattlesnake. I'm 3 miles in. I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but I'm doing this entire distance test on pedal assist level 3. That's kind of just, you know, right in the middle of the road. Not low power, not full power, just a happy medium. How does it do with no hands? Oh, it actually handles very well. Very balanced bike. We could even make turns with no hands and bumps. Very stable, very like nice center of gravity. I like it a lot. Pretty good. Let's not get run over though. You ran a stop sign. Yeah, I did. All right, here we are at the beach, pulling up to the sand. Let's see how we do. Soft sand. Fairly certain we're gonna do pretty well. Got that mid-drive torque. Oh yeah. Challenge? What challenge? There's no challenge here. Oh yeah, that's nice. Nice and easy cruising. Still on pedal assist 3 also. See how the throttle does down here. Oh yeah, throttle goes nicely. I like it. I like it. And that dual suspension, it's just, it eats up the bumps. No jitters, no shakiness. This is a great bike. I'm really liking this bike so far. Really enjoying it. The torque sensor makes such a big difference when you're in like the soft stuff like this. It just feels so much more natural. Let's bump up to pedal assist 5 just briefly, and I'm gonna see if I can get through this really soft stuff here. We'll see how that goes. So far so good. This is where it gets dicey. Oh yeah, we're struggling, but we're doing it. Yeah, we're gonna call it. I mean, that's really soft. That's like pillow soft. So not bad. I'm actually surprised it made it that far. And if you hold down the minus button, it actually puts you into like a walk mode. So when you're in a situation like this where you can't really ride, you can at least have a little assist while you're walking. And to disengage, same thing. I think you could just hit the brake. No, it wants to keep going. So just hold down the minus again. All right, and we'll bring it back to pedal assist 3 and continue our distance test. All right, well, we did the beach. Now let's do a little light trail. I know this will go pretty well since the beach went pretty good. But this is, you know, sandy gravel, kind of steep up here, so we'll see. We'll see. You can really feel that torque sensor kicking in when you start to pedal a little harder. I like that. Oh yeah, we're handling that no problem at all. What hill? What gravel? Never heard of it. Pretty nice. Yeah, I like what I see here. We haven't even fluctuated even slightly on the battery bar. Let's go in the shade, we can see a little better. Yeah, so the battery is all the way full. Still on pedal assist 3. We've gone 7 miles and things are looking pretty good. Pretty good indeed. I love when a product performs as advertised. It's my favorite. And it's even better when they exceed my expectations, which so far this bike is absolutely doing that. All right, cool. So since we made it to the top of this hill, let's ride down and continue our distance test. I want to get at least 20 miles on this before I make my assessment for the range. I think that's pretty fair. So let's get going. Oh, I love dual suspension bikes so much, so much. right, let's pull over here in the shade and take a gander at our screen. So it is looking like we just rolled over to 10 miles. And pedal assist 3 the whole time, except for going up to 5 on the beach. That battery bar has not even budged. And the last maybe 2 miles, I've been using the throttle the entire time. And usually that just zaps the battery on a lot of bikes. But Mokwheel, they have a pretty advanced battery management system in this bike. It's made by Texas Instruments. It's like the same kind of thing that they put in electric cars, but they implemented it into a bike. And this thing is just mad efficient. Honestly, I'm blown away. I gotta say, like, I'm not even joking when I say that it is so refreshing. It is so refreshing to have a product that actually performs as advertised. I've been dealing with these just ridiculous brands lately where you take them out, you know, they say this bike will go 100 miles, and then you ride it 15 miles and half the battery's gone. Nope, not Mokwheel. These dudes are solid, man. This isn't no AliExpress Temu bike. This is like the real deal quality. And every time I go for a ride, I see at least a few people with a Mokwheel bike. I'm surprised I haven't run into one yet today. But it is the middle of a weekday, so that could have something to do with it. But yeah, dude, long story short, I'm having a really good experience with this bike so far. This has been extremely pleasant. Now, that being said, there are a few things I would change, don't get me wrong. There's definitely a few adjustments to be made, but we'll talk about that at the end of the video. In the meantime, let's keep putting some miles on this bike and see if that battery ever fluctuates. I don't know, we're doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Oh, it finally happened. It finally happened after all that riding. Let's see. So I just pulled a pretty decent sized hill down here and a few more on the way. But that one, the battery bar did go down one little notch. One tiny notch. One little tiny notch. Still pedal assist 3, 17 miles. Still impressed, still having fun. Still no complaints, well, minor complaints. But like I said, end of the video, we'll talk about that, which is coming up because I'm on my way home. All right, we're pulling up to where we started, home base. All right, what do we think of the Mokwheel Onyx step through? Well, just in case you skipped the whole video and ended up at the end, I really like this bike a lot. Like big time a lot. Like mucho like it. Me gusta quite a bit. Let's look at our stats before anything. So our battery, there's 10 little notches, right? We have 8 of 10. That only just barely happened at the end. We did a little over 19 miles, 184 minutes, which is a lot of minutes. That's more minutes than my brain can math right now. So with the advertised range in mind and what we have here, I think on eco mode, which I'm doing at level 3, is still eco mode, I think you'd be able to get up to 80 miles. I'm pretty convinced that even someone my size, 6'4", 235 pounds, could probably get to 80 miles. Now keep in mind, we did ride this bike on the beach today, through some soft sand, through soft dirt. That does put a strain on any e-bike. And we still got plenty of battery life. Again, this battery is almost 20 amp hours, 19.6. That's generally what you see with a dual battery e-bike, but they've compressed it into one and just hit it discreetly in the frame there. And this thing has got some serious power. And I think that is due in part to this mid-drive motor truck run. It does run like a truck. And all that riding, this thing is not even hot. And it's a hot day today too. It's doing pretty good, man. Everything's really like tight and proper on this bike. Nothing rattles. Well, a couple things rattle, but we'll talk about that. Nothing major rattles. These handle grips are super comfortable with the little gel pad in there. Everything is like ergonomically very good as far as the brakes, the throttle, the little bell. I did mistake this for my throttle a couple times because I'm used to having it on the right side, but you know, it is what it is. But these hydraulic brakes, they're not spongy. They're not, you know, they're not weak in any way, shape, or form. And these big old discs, oh man, these things stop so good, especially after I broke them in. The width of the handlebars is very nice. The distance from the seat to the bars is also very nice. And keep in mind, you can push this forward. I actually have them as close as you can get them, but you can lean that forward and get a little more stretch if that's what you want. I don't think I mentioned this in the intro of this video, but it does also have this tail light. Now, this is a little different. It's clip-on, so that has its pluses and minuses. It doesn't react to when you press the brakes. It charges with USB-C, but you can mount that almost anywhere you'd want. It doesn't have to go right there. You could put it somewhere else, but that is a good option to have. Oh yeah, and it's got little different modes. So that is a cool accessory. And while we're talking about accessories, this bike did come with a few accessories as well, and extra nuts and bolts and parts. So if you lose a nut, lose a bolt, lose some component, there's a pretty high chance that they included an extra piece. So they really thought it through. This bike is clearly like the result of what you get when a company actually cares about their product. This is a very good quality. Probably, I might even go out and say that this is the best bike I've ever received to review on this channel, at least in the top 2. Now, I know this is my first ride. This is my first impression. That might change in time, but from what I've seen so far, I'm thoroughly impressed, beyond impressed. I mean, the cable management alone is impressive. I mean, I love these forks, very robust, very sturdy. This suspension is so responsive and so nice on those bumpy roads, on the beach, off-road. Super good. Metal pedals, you guys know I'm a huge fan of metal pedals. I love them. I love a good metal pedal. The kickstand holds the bike up. I know that sounds kind of funny to say, but I've had a lot of bikes where that thing just folds or breaks or falls off completely or leans the bike over too far. So perfect kickstand placement. Also, I do really like the mint green color too. It reminds me of toothpaste, which has a very clean vibe to it. Speaking of clean, can you even spot a weld anywhere on this frame? Can you even see a weld besides that one in there? This thing is like one solid piece. Super well built. Now, didn't you say that you didn't like some things about it? Yeah, I did. There's a few things. First things first is gonna be these fenders. These are as tight as I can get them, and it does wobble a bit. And I think if you were to just put like a little silicone on that bracket in there, you know, some kind of glue, it would definitely stop it from rattling. Of course, the fenders are optional. You don't have to have the fenders. And it's my personal opinion that this bike and every bike in the world looks better without fenders. You're just gonna get a little muddy here and there. But yeah, front fender, same kind of thing. It wobbles a little. This one's a little more solid, but it does good. You know, we did better than Monkey Wrench Mike, if you guys watched his review on this bike, in terms of the fenders. Second thing, now this is a love-hate relationship, is this screen. It's a really innovative new type of screen placement and technology, But I will say it is a little hard to see it in the sunlight, at least at the angle that I have it at. Maybe if it was pushed forward and flat, it'd be a little easier, but there is a lot of reflection if you can't tell with the phone and the tree and all that. So the smaller text is a little hard to read at times, but you could probably even get one of those matte screen protectors to cut down on glare. That would probably work pretty good. But all in all, I think it's a plus. Like, it saves a lot of space between having like its external separate screen. So I do really like that design. Maybe it's just me getting old and going blind, who knows? And then the third and final thing that I'm not particularly hyped about is this seat. It's not bad, it's not a bad seat, but I would personally want something a little bit wider and a little bit softer, because after riding 19 miles, my butt hurts. I am a little bit sore in the fanny, but no more than I would be on most other bikes. So that being said, I really enjoyed riding this bike today, and this is definitely a keeper for me. This one is staying in the collection. I mean, look how just good this thing looks. My goodness. So we saw it handle the beach, it handled the trails, it goes through town perfectly, very maneuverable. The brakes are awesome. The bell, I do like that bell. It's just so minimal. I've never seen anything like it. Oh yeah, and the shifters too. That's a cool style shifter. I really like that. Tucked away down here. Very discreet, 10 speeds. Pretty rad. Super into it. So what would I rate this bike out of 10? I'm gonna give this bike a 9.5 out of 10. 9.5, solid. The only reason I would take a 0.5 off is, at least on the step-through version, I would like to see a wider, more padded seat. But that's about it. Performance-wise, distance, range, capability, all those boxes are checked. And like I said, this is not some AliExpress, Temu, nameless shell company. They've been in the game since 2014. They have brick and mortar stores, headquartered in California, in Huntington Beach. So they're not just gonna fold up shop and disappear if something happens. They have a 2-year warranty, pretty good exchange policy. This company is probably at the top of the list as far as like affordable e-bikes go. And you're asking now probably, what is the price of that bike? Well, this one is a little up there. It goes for a little over $3,200, $3,288.88, if I'm not mistaken, from their website. Which, you might say, wow, that's a little steep. But given what I saw today, with just the craftsmanship, the components of this bike, the overall performance, if you want a bike that you're not going to have to replace for many years, I think Mokwheel is the way to go. They do make a step-over version of this bike too. That would be perfect for, mountain bike style applications, as I'm sure this one would probably handle those terrains pretty well too. Now, needless to say, I am really a big fan of this bike, and I cannot wait to see more of their lineup. This is my first bike from them. And like I mentioned in the video, I see their other models all over the place. Lots of people ride these bikes, at least in my area. So to me, Mokwheel has proven itself as a reputable company in terms of production and customer service too. They're really nice folks over there. So definitely check them out. If you want to buy something nice and reliable and good quality and don't waste your time on the AliExpress alphabet soup brands, definitely check out Mokwheel. And of course, I will have a link in the description of the video for you. So check that out for sure. So if you couldn't tell, I had a really fun time riding this bike today, and I hope you had a fun time watching me ride it. So as always, stay up, stay blessed, and we will see y'all on the next one. Peace.